Hey folks, it's Maxie here and welcome to another TEW2020 video. You join us on the continued road to Fight for the Fallen with another episode of AEW Wednesday Night Dynamite. A pretty respectable 82 in last week's episode of Dynamite, but we're hoping to kind of stay in that kind of level while giving more people opportunities in the main event scene and continue to build up a lot of our lower card to get them into a good position to give us more options going forward. But of course, we have to continue on the storylines we are building towards Fight for the Fallen. So without further ado, let's crack on to this week's show. So for this week's show, we're at the TD Stadium, and as always we'll go through our dark portion of the show. I've decided that I was going to kind of pair up Natalya, or Natty in this case, alongside Shotzi Blackheart. I feel like with her age and her skill set, she's very good for a mentor role, and she could carry someone along with her overness and her good matches. So I'm hoping that can be the case here. They had their opening contest, which see them victorious against Abaddon and Priscilla Kelly from the Dark Order, winning in 7:53 when Shotzi pinned Abaddon with the Fright Night. A 59 is a fairly good opener, but you can see there Natalya or Natty with 67. I mean, if I actually had to put her over and gain her momentum, she could be looking at the 70s very easily. So we might look at that actually. It's definitely left a bit of food for thought regarding that. But as I say, I feel like her working with the lesser and the younger talents is an opportunity to help gain their skill set up. So it's way to go, because it is quite an in-depth women's division, but obviously it's all your kind of usual WWE names, and we want to get more of the AEW talents and the outside talents to that level as well. Next up was an abysmal pre-show match that saw Toni Storm pick up the victory over Maria Manic in 8:13 with Strong Zero. This was only a 42, disappointed to report there. It's an inflamed biceps tendon for Maria Manic. What I've noticed is if it's a red injury, or red text, that'll obviously take them out of action. This one she might be able to work through, but still not ideal, and Toni Storm stood out as being good. I don't know too much about Maria Manic in real life, so I'm sorry if you're really, really talented and good, and I've been practically using you as an enhancement talent, but at that rate, a very good one. Thanks, Jerry Lynn. Next up, we had Lance Archer defeat Joe Janela in 8:41 with a blackout. 59, it's Lance Archer's first match back, so just kind of getting him back into the groove. Declining physical ability was always going to happen at his age, just seeing if it was rusty. Nope, but still, good win for the Murder Hawk. Next up, Wardlow defeats Laredo Kid in 6:48 with Splash Mountain. 57, again just making Wardlow look incredible. Another victory to get his momentum back up on track. And we changed the script. Instead of going 8-minute matches, I opted for one big long dark main event matchup. And we saw El Phantasmo defeat Rey Mysterio, Garza Jr. and Mark Quinn in 17:13 when El Phantasmo pinned Garza Jr. with the greetings from Camwood Park. He was head and shoulders above the rest in ring performance, and the 68 was the match rating. So I suppose this is a little bit of a spoiler if it happens. I'm toying with the idea of bringing in a light heavyweight division, an X division if you will. Obviously more so themed towards the X division because it'll be like a kind of no limits thing, but something for like not quite the guys at upper mid-card level for the AEW Live Championship, etc., or the TNT. So I feel like a very X division type thing to have. That's why this was kind of like a feeler for that. So I might just call it the AEW X Championship. If you get any better ideas, let me know, but remember, I do book in advance, so I may have already made my decision by the time this goes live, but just try to give us, it's that way, you don't have too many titles, everything doesn't need to be for a title for a prop, but I just feel like we're building a company up from the ground zero, effectively AEW. If you can give a lot of people accolades, then we might have a chance of more Hall of Famers, etc. down the line. So let's be realistic with this save as well, you know what I mean? It's 2 videos a week, it might go to 3 at one point, but you're probably only going to get, 4 years in TW's lifespan, so are we going to get to mad years down the line? I doubt it before the next version comes out, but which is mad I'm saying that already, but we're already a year plus into the lifespan. Anyway, on to the matter on hand, the actual show, Dynamite. So opted with this one for MJF to basically have some verbals on Darby Allin, saying that he wishes to do nothing but inflict pain and suffering on Darby Allin. Darby Allin comes out, says, here, I don't care how many you guys there is in the Uprising, you know, we know I've got friends in the likes of Will Ospreay, Johnny Gargano, I've got no issues with that. Of all people, who comes out? It's the world champ, it's Kenny Omega. And Kenny says, well, obviously he's going to have his hands full at Fight for the Fallen. He doesn't mind giving Darby Allin a hand here tonight in Ontario. Obviously this show's in Canada. So I felt like tonight our main event, absolute Ricky Starks, will go alongside Uprising teammate MJF to take on Darby Allin and Kenny Omega. Nice promo in 87, so another reason for doing this one was obviously to give a bit of the spotlight on Ricky Starks. I feel like these kind of angles can elevate his overness and show that MJF and Darby, if not already, are close to the main event scene. MJF's practically there, Darby's a little bit shy, but 87, good start. First matchup was abysmal. Will Hobbs defeating Marco Stunt in 4:52 by pinfall. Only a 13, this is because both workers were viewed as pre-show workers by the crowd. They weren't too invested, so we need to keep building up Will Hobbs, but he picks up the win in tonight's matchup. I think you need to be about 50 over for the crowd to care about you here, which is pretty difficult when you need to be on the show to actually gain some popularity. Next up, Renee is back. She's back from rehab. She's back from that, you know, she was a soft drug user. She's now back from that. But she'll be doing the interview. She's just basically interviewing Lexi, and they talk about Powerhouse Will Hobbs. Just basically Lexi just reiterating what she's been saying. This man is going to go to the top, and Lexi's going to steer him in the right direction. 46. I'm undecided whether we're going to add more people into like Lexi's kind of management, like if she's going to have other people, kind of like a Heenan family, not particularly like aligned together, like with two different clients, but we'll see. I just feel with Lexi, we've got a very in-depth women's division, and she's probably going to be better as a talker than a worker for me. But we'll see how creative goes. Backstage, we obviously spoke about the Uprising and their issues. Johnny Gargano's just kind of minding his own business, and he gets absolutely decimated by Wardlow. 66. Then I have a promo from Heidi Lovelace, and this is a 41. Now, I've done this a bit weird because she's basically going to be speaking about what happened on Heels, but Heels was recorded beforehand but hasn't broadcast, but we'll just pretend what happened on AEW Heels has happened, and obviously you'll see at the end of the show. So basically, Shayna Baszler, Layla Hirsch, Daria Berenato attacked Gianna Daddio. And Heidi Lovelace says, well, you may have hurt her, but don't worry, we're good friends, and I'm quite happy to have Gianna's back. Basically, going to reunite the Riot Squad in this. But 41 anyway, as Heidi gives some verbals, and she takes on Daria, and she wins an 8:57 with the Heidi Ho. So a 51, you can see there, Daria Berenato is very over in this save in the mid-50s. Heidi Lovelace not so much, so again it's someone we're going to try and elevate through this tag program. Same with Gianna, I don't feel she's as over as I would like, and I feel the tag champs are actually in a very good position, but a good victory there for Heidi Lovelace. Next up, so we're just going to ignore what the text says there. I just could not get I got lazy, I'll be honest. I just put an angle here up. It's always better me explaining it than rather typing it out. But what I was looking for here was just a single promo from Mick Foley confirming what was basically addressed by Jon Moxley on Lightning. So he is confirming we will see a fatal 4-way matchup at Fight for the Fallen between Chris Jericho, Jon Moxley, Tommy End, and Andrade El Idolo, and the winner of that matchup will receive a title shot at All Out. So looking forward to that one. That should be a really, really good matchup there. And just a 69, because obviously I didn't put the 4 guys in the matchup, but it was like 2 AM booking this and trying to find the right angle. Because I don't feel there's any point in me doing custom angles anymore. It's just easier for me. I'd rather explain it than type it out. We'll go with that. Hype package segment with the Dark Order, missing Priscilla Kelly and Abaddon because it's focusing primarily on the ones that are in action tonight. which of course is going to be Reynolds, Silver, Uno Grayson and Anna Jay alongside Sir Brody Lee. That's a 49. He's just saying we're on the right track here. Anna Jay is going to take the AEW Women's Championship and bring that to the Dark Order at Fight for the Fallen. Uno and Grayson just keep on winning. Reynolds, Silver, you're still absolute losers, but just keep following what I'm doing and I will drag yous through the mud and into a much better position in AEW. They've got ice cold momentum, so building them up is going to be really tricky for us to overturn that and get them a good bit of momentum. But 49, regardless. We then had 8-man tag action, which saw Uno and Grayson in action, and it was the Good Brothers teaming up with the Dark Order to defeat Moustache Mountain and the Jurassic Express in 14:05 when Carol Anderson pinned Luchasaurus with Anderson's Spinebuster. So a lot of things to take into account here. A pretty good 63, I'd say, is a standard mid-card tag match. Anderson's got really over. He's like close to 70. Gallows is, I think, mid-50s, so we are making progress on him. Obviously, I don't feel it'll be that long before Trent Seven puts in a release request, or just walks out, so that's cool. And with the Jurassic Express, I feel Jungle Boy we can protect. I don't think there's room for him, even though we had that good feud to be alongside Jericho with MJF. I don't feel there's room for him to go solo just yet, and I'd quite like to keep Jurassic Express in a very stacked tag division. So happy with that one. And yeah, more momentum for Gallows and Anderson. We see a backstage montage of Miro, basically doing hundreds of weights, looking really, really ripped. And he says, "Look at these guns, Hangman. You're a bit of a cowboy that tries to fire guns, but I'm a Bulgarian brute with massive guns of my own." So 71 there. We then had a trios match, and it was an abysmal matchup that saw Sir Brody Lee and the recruitment specialists defeat the team of El Lindemann, T-Hawk and Sonny Kiss in 9:08 when John Silver pinned T-Hawk with an enziguri. Of course, Brody's going to be head and shoulders above everyone else. It's quite difficult to get Silver and Reynolds over because I don't have many people that are as low as like 10 or 15 in terms of popularity. And because obviously this is like Gaz's very first mod way back when the game came out, it's not the most in-depth, so if I wanted a lot of enhancement workers, I'd probably need to import them from the likes of the Who's or the Real World Chronicles. Questlove, that was the word I was looking for there. Questlove and NLGs. So we'll probably look to do that down the line. Obviously, as you know, the roster's big enough, so I really want to try and focus on what we've got before we recruit any more. But maybe we'll look to that down the line because, as I say, it's going to be the same case of just random teams put together just to help get Reynolds and Silver over, because they're talking about like 15 over in popularity to start with. It's a long way to go with them. And again, the problem is, because this mod's that old, when it started, they can't perform as babyfaces. They're like 100% heels in this, which in hindsight's mental, but hindsight's a wonderful thing. So if we do change the Brody Lee character, he's going to have to stay heel to help those two go over. 54. We have another backstage fight between one member of the Uprising, and he, Mark Quinn, confronts Will Ospreay and they start brawling. So it's just basically getting a lot of these kind of people against each other, keeping them away from the main event as well, so we have a fair fight. And yeah, it's going to be some sort of multi-man match at Fight for the Fallen. 62. We had trios action again, try to get everyone on this card it seems, but it was about they had good wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd as End of War, remember of course Raymond and Ron Hansen are loosely associated with Tommy End, and they defeated Chris Jericho in a reunion with former members of the Inner Circle, Proud and Powerful, in 14:01 when Tommy End pinned Ortiz with the roundhouse kick. This was due to interference because Gallows came in and attacked Ortiz to set up for the roundhouse kick. 80 overall. Jericho 189, so he's declining a good little bit physically, but he's still decent in the product. A good victory for Hansen and Raymond Ross. A War Machine will get a bit over. But I feel I missed a trick, maybe not with kind of like a wee kind of backstage angle between Jericho and Santana and Ortiz kind of acknowledging their past, but just a kind of thing where we get them together. Tommy End's obviously got his troops, and it leads to something pretty decent, so overall, pretty happy with that. And of course, after the matchup, Tommy End just puts Jericho down. 82. Which will then in turn lead us to our main event of the evening, which flopped. Oh. Well, that's a shame. Anyway, good matchup. Kenny Omega and Darby Allin pick up the win over MJF and Ricky Starks in 21:48 when Darby Allin pinned MJF with a quick roll-up. So Darby gets the advantage over MJF again. Ricky Starks off his game, and Kenny and Darby didn't click as a team, which has obviously cost them a lot. So I think we're probably doing a bit an 82 here, just a kind of standard main event. But yeah, a few points lost because of that. So you're probably wondering as why I always go for the 20-minute main event to try and ensure we can at least gain or maintain pop within our major regions, our major markets. And as I say, we're always likely to gain pop in other places, but it's just to maintain that, because obviously I want to try and obviously strive for as many best matches as possible, try and obviously get that elusive 100 rating, and then the 49 others that I need to get to get the achievement. So it does take up a bit of time, and I feel like we did lose time in a lot of feuds. Like, there was nothing we could really do on Anna Kerry Hojo. We never really even had anything from Cody here, but it just feels it gives other people the spotlight and opportunities to shine. So I feel like we've got a lot of other feuds over, but maybe not so much what we needed to get over. You can see they're actually quite a lot of light greens, you know what I mean? A few good stuff at the end there, but you could say apart from that, it's a very poor rated show if it's not the opening segment. But overall, 79, we lose popularity in 17 regions, we gain in 2, that's fine, that's cool. It's all part of the storyline focus, which we need to be, rather than just, oh my god, I need to get a 100 rated show, which unfortunately sometimes my mindset goes to. So vast majority of the show was still enjoyed by fans. Heels didn't get down well, and it's still going to have a few days for Maria Manic, that's fine. So just to touch on what I talked about with AEW heels, so it was we started off with a wee throwback alliance with Saraya and Tenille. Obviously they've known each other as Emma and Paige in NXT. They'll be teaming up in the main event. We had Layla Hirsch defeat Gianna Daddio, then her and Daria attacking Daddio. We had Jamie Hayter defeat Mayu Iwatani. We then had Heidi Lovelace and Shayna Baszler have a bit of a confrontation because of what's went down. Pretty good matchup between Natty and Deonna Purrazzo. And then we had a main event which saw Saraya and Tenille defeat Maria and Penelope Ford. Overall, Miro says Tyler Bate doesn't connect with the fans. We know about Maria, drug testing 6,000, and a 3.43 for Dynamite. Short, simple, effective. Thanks very much for watching, it's much appreciated. If you can leave a wee thumbs up as well, that's appreciated. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit the sub button, videos will drop in every couple of days. Let me know what you feel about the save, let me know how you're finding TW these days, how you're booking yourself, and of course how the landscape of wrestling is going. Let me know if you want to just talk crap about wrestling. Don't hesitate to do so, I'm more than happy to get back in and involved in the conversation. So cheers for watching, take it easy, and I'll see you in a few days for the next episode of AEW, and it'll be some lightning. Bye bye.